Mr. Rito, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can absolutely hear you.
Okay. If I can get y'all, I've got two witnesses here in the courtroom,
Okay.
you via Zoom. So if y'all would raise your right hands, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Mr. Rito, I'm going to hold up what purports to be a copy of the last will and testament of Larry Rito. Do you recognize this as being his will?
I do.
Copy of his will, I should say.
Mhm.
And do you recognize that as being a copy of his signature on that document?
Absolutely.
And after the date he made this will on September 29th of 2020, did he ever change it or revoke it?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, do you have any explanation for the non-production of the original of the will?
I don't, but I can tell you I've searched high and low for that thing and have not been able to locate it.
Okay, very good. Did we check the clerk's office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. And you, your attorney's given you a document called the proof of death and other facts.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Have you read over that document?
I have.
Is everything in that document true and correct and within your personal knowledge?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have the witnesses here in the courtroom. We're going to take their testimony. Once we're done, you're going to need to take that proof of death and other facts and your oath to a notary public and execute those before the notary, return those to Mr. Lashley. He'll then e-file those with the court. When he does that, I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate. But give us 1 second here. Go right ahead, Mr. Lashley.
Ms. Jackson, how are you doing this morning? Ms. Jackson, have you had a chance to read over the two documents, the affidavit of facts concerning identity of heirs, and then the other document regarding Mr. Rideau's signature on the will?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to show you what we have filed with the court as the copy of Mr. Rideau's will. Do you recognize this signature right here as being Mr. Rideau's signature?
Yes.
And you were familiar with Mr. Rideau's handwriting and signature during his lifetime, correct?
Yes.
And you knew Mr. Rideau for over 40 years, correct?
Yes.
All right. You go ahead and sign it just as your name is typed on there, man.
And Mr. Moore, I'm going to ask you some extremely similar questions to what we just went through with Ms.
Mr.
Jackson.
Moore stole the original.
Yeah, he's going to produce it right now. Mr. Moore, same thing. You were acquainted with Mr. Rideau for well over 15 years and his family, correct?
Yes.
And you're familiar with his handwriting and his signature, correct?
Yes.
And the document before you that we filed with the court is what purports to be a copy of his will. And on the 4th page, I believe,
I'm with you.
the signature, do you recognize that as being Mr. Rideau's signature?
Yes.
And you've had a chance to read over your affidavit and your statement concerning his handwriting and signature, correct?
I did.
And everything contained in those two documents is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, right?
Yes.
And if you,
Sign both of
yeah,
those.
you'll sign those documents just as your name is typed.
All right, Mr. Rito, we've gotten the testimony of all the witnesses, so we'll take care of it as soon as Mr. Lashley gets your documents from a notary public. And if y'all have any other questions or anything, let us know. Thank y'all so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all's time. And let's see, it's Monday, so I hope y'all have a great rest of your week.
Thank
Same
you.
Y'all take care now. All right. Take care, Mr. Rito.
Yes, sir.
Janet Parisha. Janet Parisha, is that her name?
I've got Miss Norman.
Yeah, Norman and Parisha,
Yeah.
they're both on Zoom.
Okay, it's on the Smith estate.
Yes, so there they are.
Okay, so Ms. Parisha is the applicant. All right, Ms. Parisha, if I get you.
I heard you say my name and then it broke up, so I'm sorry.
I'm having a hard time understanding you.
Yep, it seems like our video connection is not, our audio connection is not really good.
Okay, Ms. Parisha, would you dial, do you have your cell phone?
Yes,
Would you please dial 409? 748 0247. Okay, now,
say that again.
okay, now,
Okay, it's muted. Thanks.
all right.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Parisha, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Ms. Norman, if you'll go ahead and mute your line too, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call shall be the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Is that your father's will?
It is.
Is that his signature on that document?
Yes, it is.
And after the date he made this will on March 30th of 2015, did he ever change it or revoke it?
No.
Okay, has Ms. Norman provided you with a document called a proof of death and other facts?
Yeah.
Have you read it? Is everything in that document true and correct and within your personal knowledge?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. If you'll make arrangements to sign that in front of a notary public and return that and your oath to her, then I'm gonna hang up before this phone drives me crazy.
Me too.
All right, bye.